Last spring, I took a patchy yellow lawn that had gone backwards on me for 3 seasons. And in 28 days, I pulled it into the deepest, thickest green I have had on that property in over a decade using a homemade tonic that cost me under $4 to mix. I had been pouring expensive synthetic fertilizer on that same lawn for years, watching it green up for 10 days before fading right back to that tired, washed-out look. More money, more bags, worse results. Here's the thing. The recipe I'm about to share with you was not invented by some lawn care guru. I uncovered it through a forgotten research thread out of agricultural extension bulletins from the 1930s and 40s. Before the synthetic fertilizer industry took over American lawns after the Second World War, farmers and groundskeepers were using a 4-ingredient kitchen tonic that fed the soil microbes, not the grass itself. And the results were so consistent that university test plots documented up to a 40% increase in turf density. Today, let's walk through it together. I'm going to give you the exact recipe, the exact ratios, the exact timing, and the exact application method I use on my own lawn. I'll show you what to mix, what to avoid, and how often to apply it through the growing season. And stay with me to the end because I'll share a small finishing trick I borrowed from old golf course groundskeepers. One ingredient most people never think to add that pushes the color from green to that deep, almost emerald shade you see on professionally maintained turf. Now, I want to be straight with you. I did this the wrong way for over 20 years. I bought the 4-step program at the big box store every spring. I followed the bag instructions. I thought I was doing everything right, and my lawn was still average at best. If you've been doing the same thing, you're not alone. I was right there with you. The whole industry is built around selling you nitrogen in a bag. And that nitrogen does turn your grass green for a week or two, but it also burns out the soil biology underneath, which is the part that actually keeps your lawn thick and resilient long term. Then I started reading old agricultural papers from before 1950, and I uncovered something that completely reset my thinking. The folks growing the best turf in America were not feeding the grass. They were feeding the living soil under the grass. And once I understood that one shift, everything I thought I knew about lawn fertilizer turned upside down. Here's where it gets interesting. In 1913, 2 German chemists named Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch figured out how to pull nitrogen out of the air and turn it into ammonia on an industrial scale. That breakthrough fed billions of people, and I'm not going to argue with that. But after the Second World War, the same factories that had been making ammonia for explosives pivoted to making synthetic lawn and farm fertilizer, and they needed a market. So the marketing pushed homeowners away from the old methods. Methods that came from real necessity, from groundskeepers maintaining estates and golf courses on tight budgets, from Depression-era farmers who could not afford store-bought fertilizer and had to feed their pasture and lawn with what was already in the kitchen and the barn. Those folks figured out through trial and error that if you fed the bacteria and fungi in the soil would feed the grass. And modern soil science out of places like Cornell and Ohio State has confirmed every bit of it. So before we mix a single thing, here's what you need to understand. Your grass is not actually eating the fertilizer you put down. It can't. Grass roots can only absorb nutrients that have been broken down by soil microbes, the bacteria and fungi living in the top few inches of your turf. When those microbes are healthy and active, they convert organic matter into the exact nutrients your grass needs in the exact form it can use. When you pour synthetic nitrogen on top of that ecosystem, 2 things happen. The grass blades green up fast because they are soaking up that quick nitrogen through the leaf surface. But underneath, the salt in the synthetic fertilizer dehydrates and kills off a big chunk of those soil microbes. Within a week or 2, the green fades, the soil is weaker than before, and you reach for another bag. The homemade tonic does the opposite. Every ingredient in it is chosen to wake up the microbes. Feed them and let them do the work of feeding your grass naturally. You're not bypassing the soil, you're partnering with it. Trust me on this one. Once you make this switch, your lawn stops being a project that needs constant rescue and starts being a system that takes care of itself. It's simpler than you think. Now let me show you exactly what goes in the bottle. The recipe is 4 ingredients, and you can find every one of them at any grocery store for under $5 total. The first ingredient is 1 cup of regular cheap beer. Any light lager will do. The yeast in the beer is full of B vitamins and live fermentation byproducts that soil bacteria absolutely love. You're essentially giving the microbes a full meal in liquid form. The second ingredient is 1 cup of plain blackstrap molasses. This is the food source. Molasses is loaded with simple sugars and trace minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium. The sugars feed the bacteria immediately, and the trace minerals get cycled into the soil for the grass to use later. The third ingredient is 1 cup of household ammonia. This is your nitrogen source used in small amounts and diluted heavily. The ammonia breaks down quickly into a form the soil bacteria can process and pass on to the grass roots without burning anything. Make sure it's plain ammonia, not lemon-scented, not sudsy, just clear ammonia. The fourth ingredient is 1 cup of regular liquid dish soap, not the antibacterial kind. The soap acts as a surfactant. It breaks the surface tension of the water so the tonic can penetrate into the soil instead of beating up on the grass blades. It also softens compacted soil over time. That's it. 1 cup of each into a clean gallon jug. You now have your concentrate. Now, before we get into mixing and application, I want to take a quick second here. What I'm showing you today is one piece of a much bigger system I've put together for homeowners who are tired of throwing money at their lawn and not seeing results. If weeds are also part of your battle, clover, crabgrass, dandelions, the stubborn stuff that comes back every year, I put together a 30-day weed kill protocol. It's normally $47, but right now it's $17. Inside, you'll get the exact day-by-day plan I follow, how to identify the 7 most common lawn weeds, when to apply pre-emergence, and a full seasonal calendar. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description. All right, let's keep going. Here's where most people go wrong. They take that concentrate and they pour it straight on the lawn, and they end up with brown streaks. The concentrate is way too strong to apply directly. It needs to be diluted heavily before it ever touches your grass. Let's walk through it together. Take a hose end sprayer, the kind that holds about a quart of liquid and attaches to your garden hose. You can find one at any hardware store for $10 or $12. Pour 1 cup of your concentrate into the sprayer jar. That's all you need. Then set the sprayer dial to about 2 tablespoons per gallon. When you turn the hose on, the sprayer mixes that 1 cup of concentrate with roughly 20 gallons of water as it sprays. That dilution is critical. You're delivering a very small amount of active ingredients across a large surface area, which is exactly what the soil microbes can handle. 1 full sprayer jar with 1 cup of concentrate will cover about 2,500 square feet of lawn. So 1 gallon of concentrate mixed at this rate treats a typical quarter-acre yard 4 times. That works out to about $1 per application for a normal-sized lawn. Here's the thing, more is not better. If you double the strength thinking you'll get faster results, you'll burn the grass and stress the microbes. Stick to the ratio, trust the process. Now here's where the real growth shows up. Timing and method matter as much as the recipe itself. Apply the tonic in the early morning or the evening, never in the middle of a hot sunny day. Direct sun on freshly applied tonic will evaporate the active ingredients before they soak in. I aim for between 6 and 8 hours in the morning or after 6 hours in the evening. The grass blades hold the spray longer and the soil is cooler. Walk the lawn at a steady pace, sweeping the sprayer side to side like you're painting a wall. Don't linger in one spot. You want even light coverage across the whole area. If you can still see wet leaves 20 minutes after spraying, you went too heavy. Soil temperature matters too. The microbes only work when the top 3 in of soil are above 50 degrees RNF. In USDA zones 7 through 10, that means you can apply from early March through late October. In zones 4 through 6, your window is roughly mid-April through mid-September. In zones 2 and 3, mid-May through late August. Water lightly within an hour of application. About a 1/4 inch of water is plenty. You're not flushing the tonic away. You're just helping it move from the grass blades down into the root zone and the soil where the microbes live. You should see a noticeable color shift in 7 to 10 days. Real density and thickness, the kind you can feel under your bare feet, takes 3 to 4 weeks. Be patient. The soil is rebuilding underneath you. The last piece is rhythm. One application is not the goal. You're building a healthy soil ecosystem, and that takes consistent feeding. Apply the tonic every 3 weeks during the active growing season. For most of the country, that means 6 to 8 applications per year. Skip applications when the lawn is dormant, either in deep summer heat above 90 degrees Fahrenheit for several days, or in winter dormancy. Between tonic applications, mow at the higher end of your grass types range, 3.5 to 4 inches for cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, fescue, and ryegrass. 2 and 1.2 to 3 and for warm season grasses like Bermuda, zoysia, and St. Augustine. Taller grass shades the soil, holds moisture, and protects the microbes you're feeding. And leave your clippings on the lawn. I know the conventional advice is to bag them. Forget that. Grass clippings are pure organic matter. They feed the soil exactly the same way the tonic does. You're stacking benefits. Give it one full season. By next spring, you'll have a different lawn under your feet. Now let me walk you through a few patterns I see all the time. The same patterns I fell into for years before I knew better. The first pattern is the 4-step bag program. Every spring, folks buy that color-coded bag system from the big box store and apply it like clockwork. It's not that those products are useless, it's that they're feeding the grass and starving the soil. Over years, your soil gets harder, drier, and less responsive. No matter how much you put down, the homemade tonic feeds the soil first and the grass thickens on its own. The second pattern is overwatering. People see a struggling lawn and assume it needs more water. So they set the sprinklers to run 20 minutes every day. Shallow daily watering trains, roots to stay near the surface where they dry out fast and stress easily. The old groundskeepers knew this. Water deeply about once or twice a week. Roots chase water down, and deeper roots mean a tougher lawn. The third pattern is mowing too short. I see it constantly. Folks scalp their lawn down to 1.5 inches thinking they'll mow less often. What they actually do is expose the soil to the sun, kill the microbes, and invite every weed seed in the neighborhood. Raise your mower deck. The grass shades itself. The fourth pattern is bagging clippings. I did this myself for years. Then I read the old extension bulletins. Clippings return up to 30% of the nitrogen your lawn needs for free. All right, here's the finishing trick I promised you at the top. The old golf course groundskeepers had a secret weapon for that deep, almost emerald color. And it's one ingredient most homeowners never think to add. Iron, specifically liquid chelated iron, which you can find at any garden center for about $15 a bottle. About once a month during the growing season, add 2 ounces of liquid iron to your hose end sprayer along with the regular tonic. Iron does not feed the grass the way nitrogen does. What it does is intensify the chlorophyll in the blades, which deepens the green color dramatically without forcing top growth. Your grass turns that rich, dark, professional shade within 7 to 10 days. The reason this got buried is that synthetic fertilizer companies push nitrogen as the answer to everything. But research out of Michigan State turf programs has shown for decades that iron is what separates a green lawn from a great-looking lawn. Trust me on this one, it's the difference maker. Before you head out, one last thing. Everything I covered today is the foundation, but a thick, deep green lawn is only half the battle for most homeowners. The other half is the weeds that show up and try to take it all back. That's why I put together a 30-day weed kill protocol. Inside, you'll get the exact day-by-day plan I use on my own lawn, how to identify the 7 most common lawn weeds before they spread, the right pre-emergent timing for your zone, post-emergent application techniques that actually work, and a full year-round seasonal maintenance calendar so you never have to guess again. It's normally $47 on sale for $17 right now. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to grab your copy. And that's it. 4 ingredients, a hose end sprayer, and a little patience. The same kind of tonic groundskeepers were quietly using 100 years ago before anyone tried to convince you that a thick green lawn had to come out of a bag. Drop a comment and let me know how your lawn responds. If this story changes the way you look at the soil beneath your feet, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the history they tried to bury. Let's grow the future together. The next treasure of knowledge will be revealed soon.